Good morning. I wanted to come on this morning and talk a bit about, from my perspective, what's going on, what we're actually closing out. Now, I'm saying actually from my understanding, my inner standing. But the truth is there's so many things that are going on right now. And I think one of the easiest ways to understand that is that we all live in our own separate realities, the way that we think and perceive, right? We have our own individuality with that. But then we belong to collectives. And we could see that as where we live, like what skin tone we are, what our creed is, what our walk of life is, what our family name is. So even within those smaller collective groupings, we belong to bigger collective groupings and on a spiritual level of like what we came here to do in this lifetime, what is unique about this lifetime, and that we're all chosen to be here in our own we're all chosen to be here as parts of big mechanics in the new clock, per se, the new time, the new era, the new earth. I don't like calling it the new earth, but that's really the only name that people really can, it permeates when people hear that. So I'm just going to say the new earth. And from my perspective, the year of the snake, well, the era of the snake, I'm going to call it the era of the snake, is coming, has come to an end. And we're in this in-between state right now that we are shedding. And it was the wood snake. And the next is the fire horse, burning at the stake, burning at the tree, the burning heart. And we've all carried that code on in one way, on and in, within, out, in one way or another. So when you think about being in this in-between state, it literally is the earth has already collapsed. And so from my perspective, what's happening is our realities are catching up. So the way that our mind has shifted, the clock and the program within the mind that we all hold individually, and we all hold collectively, is now coming online. And for many, it already has. That's why we've seen so much chaos and so much change, so much boom in technology. But now humanity is going to come online in a process. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I know it's fast, it's rapid, it's instantaneous. And so as the earth, and there are primary collectives right now that hold the key. So as they're accessing that, there's all sorts of stuff that's coming through that many people will be above the line and be holding peace and be holding solidarity and be holding energy to move through the earth. There are some people that are here that are fighters and that are meant to walk that line and stand it. And there are some people that are here that are somewhere in between. There is no wrong and there is no right, particularly right now. There is what I see, what comes through me, what comes through me is what's most important right now is, what do you believe? Can you connect with you? Can you silence yourself for a moment, connect with you, and know what your soul, your spirit, your heart, your mind, your body is asking you to do? Can you align with that? And remember, before you can align with the greater purpose, you must align with the smaller ones. And that's what has come in your own life. What are you being asked to shed? What are you being asked to grow? What are you being asked to decide upon right now? Right now. Right now. Not next year, not waiting for the process for it to take off, but right now. And about you making the decision then to move forward and do that. And again, there's no like, you're not rushed, but the time is now. So once you're in alignment with yourself, you can move into that collective expression and do your work and serve your purpose. And when I say serve your purpose, I mean live your life. So that ultimately, as we move into the fire horse, which is intense, it sets a fire, what cannot reside in the new earth energy. It burns it. It burns it from us personally. It burns us from us, our smaller stuff that we have going on, and it burns us collectively on multiple levels. So I want to go back to the understanding that that's why when people are saying, and excuse me, I've been sick, this is some of the last stuff that I've been purging through my body in a very physical way. So before I go into what I was just going to go into, I want to call forward this stuff where what's been happening with me that's been showing up in the last month are very, very old wounds or very, very old lessons, growth cycles, just cycles that have been showing up, and not necessarily showing up in me, but people that I'm close to, like addiction. It's been showing up. And what I've come to understand is what I'm being asked to do right now, or what's being challenged within me, is how do I deal with that given my experience and my life expression with that? How do I deal with that? How do I think about it? How do I react to people that are helping me address this in a solid way? And again, there's no one way. It's very complicated. Because think about addiction. When you're dealing with people that are in the process of it, it's not like you're just going to show kindness. Sometimes, you know what? It's like, hey, you got to deal with what you got to deal with. And I'm honoring my body. But then other times it's like when this gets going and this isn't being heard, these people come in and help me address that. So it's like no matter how expanded you are, your wounds trigger you in some way. And there's a growth cycle for the next few years, even when we're in the new energy. Because we're learning how to navigate these differences and these early walks of life that are still have a breath in something that's happened. We're learning to deal with things head on, with intelligence, but with compassion and with procedure. So I think about the addiction, I think about money, scarcity, just another thing with upstairs, addiction. Someone needed to rescue someone, like the victim of the user. There's so much stuff that has been popping up for me, and it's just, again, what's been popping up for you, and how are you addressing it? Are you addressing it in a way that you are proud of and that makes you feel solid and good, or is there some shakiness in it? And again, there's nothing wrong with the shakiness. It's just showing you something that's helping you grow for what you're going to become in this next year once these dimensional spaces open up. Because once the dimensional spaces open up, things are going to be that people are going to have a very, very hard time handling. And so the more centered you are, the more easy it is for you to flow through so that you can do what you came here to do. Going back to, we're all in different dimensional space, and I know that this recording is going to end, and maybe I'll do a second one that I'll talk about why it's so complicated, because we're all coming from a different space trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong. So I'll do a second recording on that, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, as I'm healing myself. So if you're sick or you got something going on, I send you so much love and respect and honor for doing your work.